Now, I know you are wondering why Manchester United and Chelsea are unable to go back to the top. The thing is, Man United is the most successful club in the Premier League era. The club has had 13 Premier League titles that were all won by a single coach, but since Ferguson retired, the club has not won a single title. It is approximately 13 good years since Man United won its last title. Chelsea, on the other hand, got all its trophies between 2005 and 2017. I mean, Premier Leagues. The common thing in all those years, they had an owner who was spending big bucks on players and sacking all the coaches whenever he wanted. But things stopped working since 2017. Now, what has happened with these two teams? To answer that question correctly, we will look at why the two teams were successful. Let's start with Man United. As opposed to what people think, Man United were not the biggest spenders in the 90s. Blackburn Rovers had the most expenditure in 1992, 1993, 1994 and 1995. The second spot was shared between Everton, Liverpool, Man United and Spurs between all those years. So, it is not the expenditure that made them great. Again, contrary to what people believe, Ferguson did not just come into the team and start winning. He had to take nearly 6 years in the club before he won the league. He had to go through a period where he was asked to resign, be sacked, or even wished death. So, again, contrary to what Man United fans usually say, he was not an outright genius. He would have been sacked if he was coaching in this era. Now, the thing that allowed Man United to create a squad that never went below position 3 in 21 good years was patience and stability. Ferguson was given 6 years to build his team. And in the 6 years, he managed to buy Mark Hughes from Barcelona, Brian McClare from Celtic, Gary Pallister, Dennis Irwin, Peter Schmeichel, and Eric Cantona. You see the names? Those names are what Mourinho used to call football heritage. Investment from the past that come and build the dream team. That was why they won, a dream team. And that is still what they kept doing to remain at the top. Few selling, few purchases, but quality purchases. In 1993, they added Roy Keane. You see again the name. In 1995, they added Andy Cole. In 1996, they added Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Teddy Sheringham. In 1998, they added Jaap Stam, then York, and then Barthez, and they still had quality from the academy in the likes of Beckham, Ryan Giggs, Scholes, Phil Neville, and Gary Neville. One thing they never allowed was their star players leaving, like their quality players leaving. It was until 2007 when Beckham and Ronaldo forced their moves out. Now, you see what made Man United great? A great squad that was assembled for a specific type of play by a single person and undergoing improvement year in, year out. Now, why is the team unable to replicate that? But before we go to that, let's see what made Chelsea great. I'm sure you have heard that Abramovich bought a low-quality team and took it to the top through spending, but that's not true. Contrary to what people say, Chelsea was not a bottom club team before Abramovich bought it. In 2002-2003 season, Chelsea was position 4. In 2001 to 2002 season and 2000 to 2001, Chelsea was position 6. And in 1999 to 2000, Chelsea was position 5. So, the club was already a Big Six club. So Abramovich wanted a perfect squad as quickly as possible. The coach who was coaching then was Ranieri, and he had managed those good positions. But in 2003, he bought 13 players, which included Makelele, Crespo, Joe Cole, Wayne Bridge, and Duff. Again, you see the names. All quality players, but then again, Ranieri got position 2 and went to the semi-final in Champions League, which was not enough for Abramovich. Abramovich decided that he would take the coach who won the Champions League, which was Mourinho. And even after taking the coach in, he still went ahead to buy 9 players. The 9 players were largely suggested by Mourinho, and they included Drogba, Cavallo, Peter Cech, Robben, Ferreira. The talent in that team did not even need Mourinho to win the league. It would have won the league with any manager, contrary to what people believe. I mean, the team continued to win trophies even with changes in managers. And even in 2012, they managed to win the Champions League with the caretaker manager. At some point, even people are saying that the team was managing itself. Now, what made the team perform an outstanding squad that was being improved year in, year after? Buying people like Kante, buying people like Hazard, buying people like Ramirez, buying people like Oscar, like buying people. They kept improving, getting all the people who needed to be there, like the top quality. Now, where are the two teams not performing right now, even when the two teams keep spending on the squad as they have always been doing? The thing is, a team needs to build a squad to win the league, either slowly or at once. Slowly in the way Man United did, or at once in the way Chelsea did. When it wants to build the squad at once, it will buy 10 to 20 players. Some of those players might be world class, others one-season wonders, and the rest ordinary players. In 20 players, in 10 players, you cannot get 10 world class. You cannot get 15 world class players. That means the purchases can help the team improve. Like they can bring certain people to build the squad, but they cannot guarantee that you'll build the squad that you need at once. Now, you need someone to gel the squad. You need someone to keep improving the squad, bringing in the pieces to fill the squad, to build an outstanding squad. That was being done by football directors and the owner in Chelsea, and that was being done by Ferguson in Man United. But once those guys went out, now the team still needed someone to do it. But that's where the problem started, because you need someone who knows what kind of team will win the league and keeps finding the right player, removing the players that are not right and bringing the right players until the final jigsaw is achieved. That is where the problem is with Man United and Chelsea. Man United are spending on few top players each season, as they always do, but they keep changing the coach, hence ruining the type of team that they want to create every few years. Because every new coach comes with a new style, finds certain players, wants new players, and when the other coach comes in, he also wants his own new players. When Van Gaal came in, he came with his new players. When Mourinho came in, he sold some of the players that Van Gaal used to use, and he started asking for other new players. Now, when Mourinho went, when another coach came, they have always been doing it until the last time. Even this time when Amorim came, again, you see, all those players that were shining in the last time or last coach were all sent away. He started a new form of play with new players. Now, that whole thing keeps ruining the type of team that they want to create every few years. New coach comes with new plans, they sell top players, buy others, and thus are unable to create the right team. They sold Lukaku, they sold Pogba, they sold Di Maria, even sold Ronaldo while they were still, you can say, world class, and they never replaced them or really get to cover where the problem is. The team thus became disjointed, hence they couldn't form the team to win the league, and that is the same for Chelsea. Now, they've changed the entire team twice, doing the same thing that Abramovich did, but the problem is no single coach has had even 2 years or a football director with a football coach that understands the philosophy, that understands how he plays, and that understands what they want the team to play. Now, you see, Lampard was playing differently. You bring another coach, Potter wants another different way to play. Tuchel wants another different way to play. Pochettino doesn't have even time to gel with the players, and you have another coach. Now, after changing all these directors and the coaches, nobody will know the direction they are going with the team, or what they want the team that wins the league to look like. Now, if you can't have a vision, if you don't know what squad, what team you want to win the league, there's no way you are going to buy the right players. Now, you'll be in a scenario where you are buying players like ZH who are playing 1 year and then you are selling them. You have a player, you are bringing people like Nkunku, getting 2 years, they're not performing the way you want, you sell them because you don't know what kind of players you want. You buy in, like Chelsea has bought a whole new team, and right now they're planning to sell even more people. Now, how will the two teams solve the issue? Just 2 words: patience and stability. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that thing of patience and stability. They want a coach to come and win everything. That doesn't happen if you don't have a football philosophy, if you are not building from past success, and if you don't have a football director that already knows the vision and is already putting pieces in that jigsaw. Arsenal are chasing the league now, not because Arteta is genius, it's because Arteta now has had 5 years to build the squad that he thinks is able to win the league. And they allowed him all those 5 years. Now, had Chelsea allowed a coach for 5 years, they would probably not have won anything. The same way, they have made all these changes but have not won anything. So, it's a zero-sum game, and it's the same way for Man United. If they allowed a coach to have 5 years with the team, build their own team, they would have still suffered. They would have gone position 13. Ferguson also went to position 13. They would have gone to position 15. Even Chelsea in 2016 was position 15 before it went ahead to win the league in 2017. So, you have to suffer first. Liverpool have built a team where it doesn't matter the coach, they'll still win. Man City had built the team, and you can see right now they're struggling, not because Pep Guardiola is old or he has forgotten his tactics or he was a genius and he suddenly has forgotten. It's because the team was not reinvigorated. No more people are being bought to come in and join the team to build the team. Nobody was replacing De Bruyne. Nobody was replacing a company. Nobody was replacing who's the right back? Kyle Walker. Nobody was replacing those players, and that's why they're suffering right now. So, for Chelsea and Arsenal, I'll say one thing: patience and stability. Sorry, I forgot one thing. Thank you for tuning in, and also comment what you need me to tell you why it is the way it is. I got you.